everybody. One good time. Anyway, good to see you. I hope everybody's doing good out there in Facebook world. I do these videos on Thursday, 3 keys to something. Just little stuff that I've learned through the years and through the School of Hard Knocks. I've had I'm certainly not the greatest guru or anything like that, but I try to share what I have learned. I've done, with the cards that I've been dealt, I've done all right, and still not through yet, and so are you. So just the things so on Thursdays I get a chance just to tell you what, I have the opportunity to tell you some of the things that have helped me throughout life and what I'm learning on this journey. We need to share what we learn so that we can go forward and not have to spend time in the negative so much. Each one teaches one. So today, 3 keys that we see in David. David is one of my favorite characters besides Yeshua. He exemplified what it means to be a human. He exemplified what it means to be a leader. To me, he had weaknesses, he had strengths, and we get to see a good picture of how God looks at people and what he sees great when we look at David. Because he has certainly his fair amount of issues, but he also had a heart that was perfect toward him, toward Yahweh, toward God. Number 1, greatness is found in unexpected places. The first key, greatness is found in unexpected places. Too many times people are looking in expected places for greatness. Greatness isn't found where everybody else is. Greatness is often found in obscure places where nobody else is looking. You find treasures where other people find trash. There's people who make a living off of hunting for lost treasure. I think in leadership, you and I need to be able to see beyond what's evident and see what could be in other people. Greatness is found in unexpected places. Yeshua teaches that. He was born in a manger. David himself was ostracized and wasn't chosen to be chosen to be king, but yet he was chosen to be king because greatness is found in unexpected places. So many times we feel like we're overlooked and people might not be choosing you or may not be thinking that you're worth the time or the effort. But I want to encourage you, and even though you may have been looked over, that even though you feel alone, greatness is found in obscure places. When you find out a way to muster the strength, to learn more, when your rejection turns into your passion, and you start maneuvering in a way that is for the good of somebody else, you're stepping into your greatness. That's what King David did. Greatness is found in unexpected places. Look for greatness in unexpected places. This is equivalent to having vision. He could see greatness in others. Look at 1 Samuel 22, verse 2. It talks about David and who he chose. And everyone who was in distress, and everyone who was in debt, and everyone who was bitter in soul gathered to him, and he became commander over them, and there was with him about 400 men. So David chose the men that were gathered unto him by way of circumstance and by way of trauma bonding, by way of relatability. They gathered to David. And David chose them. They were all in distress. They weren't the cream of the crop. Every one of them was in debt. They didn't have money like they should have. And everyone was bitter in soul. They had been through a lot of tragic things. They gathered to him, and he became commander over them. These men became David's mighty men. One of the reasons they became David's mighty men is because they had the humility, as mighty as they were, to realize that David was the commander. And man, amongst us, we have too many chiefs and not enough people that are taking orders. We have too many captains and not enough soldiers. We have to learn to fall in line with the movement, whatever movement that may be. There should be movement. There is movement. There are revolutionaries that rise up out of the society that we're in. And we do well to gather and to bolster or to push them up, to elevate them because they're chosen. Some people are chosen. Some people just have a knack. I've known people through the years that just had something on them that just made them a leader. They had, personality. They had wherewithal. But the sad part about it, they didn't have somebody, an elder, a Samuel, to pick them out. And so they went to jail. Some of them in prison, some dead, etc. Because a leader should have pulled out the potential that was in them. He was in distress. There's people that are in distress right now. You might be in distress, and you might be in debt. Your money's funny, bitter in soul. You've been through a lot of different things. They gathered to him, and he became commander over them. They saw enough in David that they would allow him to lead them. They saw enough in David. Have enough in you that people will follow you. And these days, people follow the darndest of things, but when you see someone like David, when David rises out of your community, when David rises out of your church, when David rises out of your family, because you might have sons that are Davids. They have that tenacity, that spirit, that heart, that tenacity, that audacity, that strength, that energy. Pull out the greatness in them. Oftentimes they're distressed. I've been thinking a lot about alternative schools. And I remember going to Pershing, Twilight Academy. Shout out again to Cecil Latimer. I'm trying to find you. And but in the alternative school, everybody that was there was, as I remember, were leaders in our high schools. Now we were distressed, we were in debt, we were negative in a lot of ways, but Mr. Latimer tried to pull out the best in us, and he did his part. So we need to do ours. So that's one. Secondly, leaders should understand the social economy. There's a social economy. And when I talk about leaders, I'm talking about you, because you're leading. Everybody's doing their part to contribute to what should be happening. Well, we should, because if you're not contributing to the positive, you're contributing to the negative automatically. But leaders should understand the social economy. There are social dynamics. There are social constructs. We are all interconnected. You're connected to the next person. When you and your four do bad, it affects somebody else down the road. When you're out of work, it affects Quick Trip. When you don't have enough, it affects the school system. We're all interconnected. Your tax dollars go into your McLean. I live in North Tulsa, and my tax dollars go into the school system in McLean. And the more money I make, the better off McLean is. We're all interconnected. And leaders should understand the social economy. Society is interconnected. So with those men, he realized that not only are these guys, okay, they are distressed, they're stressed out, they don't have money, they don't have what everybody says they should have, they don't seem like they're leaders. But wait a minute, their whole life isn't just about money. Their whole life isn't just about being stressed. Their whole life isn't just about being bitter of soul. And truth about it is, a lot of those processes take great people into their greatness. When you're bitter of soul and you overcome, you can't stand to see someone else bitter of soul. You reach out stronger and harder. You see? So leaders should understand the social economy. We're all interconnected. So when I see someone and he may be negative and on tear and on some weird stuff, then it's a challenge to love that person and pull out the best in that person. The other day I was walking around the neighborhood. I do that. And this little youngster was running down the street. He had a little gun on him, and he had the look of I don't care, on him. And my heart goes out to him, and I recognize that man, that little boy, is just screaming for identity. Now you can say that to him; he ain't gonna try to hear that. But everybody wants to identify with something great, and we know that we have greatness. And so sometimes we get into the wrong type of manifestation of greatness. So we pick up the gun, which is a constitutional right. It's not cool just because you got a gun. That's a constitutional right. Don't get a case till 21. You can carry a gun. That's another story. But so leaders should understand the social economy. That these guys are going through some things, but there's something inside of those guys. These men have mighty value. Celebrate the differences that others have. Number 3, celebrate the differences that others have. They are part of the bigger picture. They are part of the bigger picture. The framer can't say to the electrician, man, I don't need you, we're worth more to you. Well, you need the framer and you need the electrician. The framer builds the house, puts the studs up, the electrician comes in and does his part. Everybody plays a tremendous part. We should not look at people as if they don't have value or something to contribute. Everybody has something to contribute. And leaders, whether you be at home as a dad, as a father, whether you be at home as a mother, whether you be at home as an aunt, grandma, you are looking into your children, you are looking at your school system, you're looking into the school system, and you're pulling out the greatness that is in them through love. Everybody needs somebody to believe in them. One of our sayings, the key to life is, it's amazing what people can do when you believe in them. Faith. When you have trust in somebody, it empowers them. I bet you can do this. They'll run out and do it. You remember what we used to do? Tell somebody, man, I bet you can't run over to the store real quick in 20 minutes. And, you know, if they're a little bit gullible, then they take off running and make it in 17 minutes. Because we all thrive when somebody's behind us, pushing the same thing we can, or challenging us to do something. So celebrate differences that others have. Celebrate that. Don't say, y'all not, you know, you ain't like me, so you don't have worth. The framer needs the electrician. You need the what do you call it? The person who's proper, quote unquote. And the proper person needs someone who is more culturally flows, and they need to glean from one another. You know, the ghetto. What do you say? It's not ghetto, but people who are able to communicate, are free to communicate, and like to communicate in those ways. So we don't demonize. We don't say that person is a weirdo because he's not like me. You do that, you're stifling your leadership as a business. You're stifling your leadership as a parent, because you don't want your children growing up with just one set of lenses. I want my children to be multifaceted, so many styles. So celebrate the difference that others have. They are part of the bigger picture. Celebrate how you are different from others, because a lot of times you could be on the other side of that. One side you could say, oh man, my shoulders, boy, I've been going through it. Shoo, it feels weird today. It feels cool out there. But I worked out today and went to the sauna. My goodness, what a joke. Anyway, sometimes if you're on the side where you say, hey, I'm not, you know, I don't mess with nobody that ain't like me, and blah, blah, blah. That's an insecurity sometimes. You should challenge that. But also, you can be insecure in yourself and say, I'm not as good as they are. When you need to recognize that you have value as a person, despite if you've seen it or not. As a human being, I guarantee that you have been energized. You have been quickened, breathed into, the best even at the least. You've been breathed into. So remember, God breathed into man and he became a living soul. That's the spirit, that's the pneuma that came in and energized you or activated you. Not in the Transformer way, not in the He-Man way, but in the deep portion of your heart. Celebrate how you are different from others. It's cool. You're different from others, and you can gain ground with your diversity. People don't want the same cookie cutter type experience. People want you. The real you, the authentic you. Learn to burst through those barriers that people have up. We all have those barriers because we all have we all grew up amongst what we grew up with, so we're naturally comfortable with what is natural for us. But to lead, to grow, to be bigger, to expand, to conquer, is to learn that I need to gain more ground. How do I gain more ground? I need to learn how to spread my conversation, my language should change. I can speak fluently this language, and not just in terms of English and whatever, but the languages of business, the languages of economy, commerce, the languages of whatever field that you're going into. Before you go look for a job, you should research that bad boy. Gain some knowledge on it, and go in there talking what they want to hear. Because people gravitate to what they're used to. If you come in with a whole different language, you're a red flag. So be broad in how you approach people, but yet still stand up for your unique value. Because good people want that, and good leaders want and understand the power of your unique value. So social economy, we need to understand the social economy. We need the ability to see value in our differences. It's valuable. You think this way, I think this way. I need your thoughts. You need my thoughts. Let's blend this together. Let's cook something good. What's next? Pull the best out of people. Leading involves pulling the best out of people. Some people need something to stand for before we are able to see their full potential. Walk people, into their future. Walk people in their future. So leading involves pulling the best out of people. Some people need something to stand for before we are able to see their full potential. Walk people into their future. Don't run them into the future. Don't make them hurry up and get where you want them to be. Walk them. The word for the original Greek word for exhortation is to come alongside and help. Come alongside people and walk with them. Don't make them do this and that. You'll form them into something that they really ain't. But let them experience Yahweh. Let them experience good. Let them experience healthy kindness and things like that. And so you should pull the best out of those people. Amen. So last, greatness is found, I'll go over it real quick. Greatness is found in unexpected places. Look for greatness in unexpected places. David had vision. He could see in others greatness. Those mighty men were first in great distress. Didn't have money. Bitter of soul. They became David's mighty men. If you look up some of their, I challenge you, go Google David's mighty men. They need to be in a movie somewhere. Go look it up, and you'll see guys that killed like 60 men with a spear. You know, and one guy, he had a sword, and it clave to his hand. I mean, these people loved David. They would be there for him because he was there for them. He was there for them in their brokenness. When no one believed in him, David was there for them. So that's my challenge to you. Believe in somebody today. At school, you're picking up kids at school, believe in that kid. See yourself in the kid you don't even know. See yourself in the person you don't even know. What would you want? What would the Holy Spirit have you to give to the next person? Shauna J, my video lady, she's got to turn this off. I hate getting up. Waiting for you. Peace and grace to you. Let me pray for you. Father, I thank you for all those that glean something from our life. I pray, Lord, you give them peace. Quicken them according to your spirit. Open doors that no man can shut. Stand strong against the forces of darkness on their behalf. Show them your glory. Show them beautiful things. We bless you. We give you praise. In Yeshua HaMashiach name, amen.